From the moment the Tesla Semi was unveiled in 2017, the technology and transportation world was intrigued by Elon Musk's bold proposal. The idea of a 100% electric truck, with a range of hundreds of miles and superior performance to diesel models, seemed almost too futuristic for an industry traditionally resistant to change. However, 8 years have passed, and the Tesla Semi continues to be shrouded in uncertainty. Although the first models were only delivered in 2022, mass production has not yet taken off as expected. Over the years, several questions have arisen about the price of the vehicle. Initially announced at around $180,000, the estimated value is now around $415,000, which raises doubts about the economic viability of the model in such a competitive market. Tesla, true to its enigmatic style, never officially confirmed the updated prices. This stance caused discomfort among early buyers and investors, who expected more clarity and predictability in the acquisition process. Among the companies that have expressed concern is Ryder, one of the first to order the Tesla Semi. With escalating costs and repeated delays, the company has asked for more time to implement the infrastructure needed to operate the new trucks. This infrastructure aspect is indeed a critical point. The adoption of electric trucks depends not only on the vehicle itself, but on a reliable fast-charging network capable of meeting the demand for heavy-duty transportation. Originally, the semi-chargers would have a capacity of 750 kilowatts, but there was a reduction to 600 kilowatts in some cases, which indicates technical and logistical adjustments still underway. This directly impacts the customer experience and the operational capacity of companies. Despite the challenges, companies that already use the Semi highlight positive points. PepsiCo, one of the first to receive the vehicles, reported a driving experience that is far superior to that of conventional trucks. Drivers praise the quiet cabin, instant torque, and comfort during long journeys. In addition, the Semi's ability to maintain constant speed, even on steep inclines, surprises even the most skeptical. With a range of around 800 kilometers per charge, the Tesla Semi is one of the most efficient electric vehicles in the world. This range is enough to cover most regional logistics routes in the United States. Another technical highlight is energy consumption. Just 1.7 kilowatt per mile, which represents significant savings compared to diesel consumption, especially in large fleets. Behind this efficiency is a robust 900 kilowatt battery, which will be produced in-house at Giga Semifactory, Tesla's new factory in Nevada. This vertical production strategy is one of the company's big bets for the future. The Giga Semifactory promises not only to reduce costs, but also to eliminate bottlenecks in the supply of essential components, ensuring greater industrial autonomy for Tesla. The factory is currently 68% complete and, when completed, will have the capacity to produce up to 50,000 Tesla Semi-units per year, which could revolutionize the cargo transportation sector. Production scale is crucial to reducing the cost per unit, which still represents a significant barrier for many companies interested in electrifying their fleets. In addition to energy efficiency and performance, the Tesla Semi incorporates advanced technological features, such as the assisted driving system, based on the full self-driving (FSD) platform. This system does not eliminate the need for a driver, but it provides support on the road, reduces fatigue, and improves overall operational safety, especially on long and repetitive journeys. In a sector facing a growing shortage of professional drivers, technology such as FSD can attract a new generation of operators, more connected to digital solutions, and with a greater interest in comfort and innovation. Another important difference is the operating cost. Even with a higher acquisition price, the savings on fuel, maintenance, and brakes, since the Semi uses regenerative braking, can offset the investment over time. Companies that adopt Semi can benefit not only financially, but also in terms of image and environmental responsibility. This becomes increasingly relevant in light of global emissions reduction targets. The transportation sector is responsible for a significant portion of CO2 emissions, and diesel trucks are one of the biggest culprits in this scenario. The Tesla Semi represents a tangible alternative to change this reality. Governments around the world are already offering incentives for green fleets, which could further accelerate the adoption of vehicles like the Semi. This creates a favorable environment for Tesla to establish itself as a leader in sustainable heavy-duty transportation. Despite this, there is still skepticism among analysts and competitors. The delay in delivering the first models has raised doubts about Tesla's real ability to meet demand with quality and consistency. However, Elon Musk remains firm in his vision of transforming not just cars, but the entire global mobility ecosystem, including trucks, buses, and, in the future, even aircraft. The Tesla Semi is part of a larger strategy that seeks to electrify all modes of transportation. The success or failure of the project could profoundly influence the future of the automotive and logistics industries. If successful, the Semi could set a new standard for efficiency and performance in electric trucks, just as the Model S redefined what is expected of an electric sedan years ago. The resilience of the trucking sector is nothing new. It is an industry with tight margins, high competitiveness, and a strong dependence on infrastructure and skilled labor. Still, the need for innovation is urgent. Issues such as climate change, environmental regulations, and fuel costs are forcing the industry to rethink its operating models. The Tesla Semi is a bold response to these challenges. It's not just a truck, but a technology platform on wheels, ready to lead a new era. Time will tell whether the delays and additional costs will be offset by the long-term benefits, but the initiative has already put an inevitable transformation on the agenda: the electrification of heavy transport. If Giga Semifactory can reach its full production capacity, the scenario will change rapidly. Electric trucks will no longer be the exception, but the rule in road transport. In addition to the environmental gains, there's a quiet revolution happening in the way truck drivers interact with their vehicles. The Semi's futuristic cabin redefines the driver experience. Centralized controls on a screen, automated systems, ergonomics designed for comfort and safety. All of this creates a new paradigm for the driving profession. While some companies are hesitant, others are stepping up to the plate. PepsiCo, Walmart, and UPS are among those banking on the Tesla Semi as part of their sustainability goals. In the long term, these pioneers can reap not only financial benefits but also institutional image benefits, aligning themselves with a cleaner and more efficient global economy. The Semi is also a statement that Tesla believes in its ability to scale complex technologies, even in sectors considered conservative and difficult to penetrate. It is a bold bet, which depends on various factors such as battery technology, charging infrastructure, market acceptance, and regulatory stability. But if there is a company capable of facing these variables simultaneously, it is Tesla. Its trajectory has already proven this with the success of the Model 3, which also faced initial skepticism and is today one of the best-selling electric cars in the world. The future of the Tesla Semi isn't just on the road. It represents a new chapter in the relationship between technology, sustainability, and global logistics. A chapter that is still being written line by line in Tesla factories and in carrier reports. Meanwhile, each new Semi that enters into operation carries not only physical loads, but also the symbolic weight of an ongoing historic transformation. Even with so many obstacles and delays, the presence of the Tesla Semi on the roads is beginning to be seen as a turning point. The first tests in real operation are providing valuable data, both for Tesla and for the companies that invested in the model. Real-time telemetry data collection is one of the Tesla Semi's most powerful tools. Every mile driven is analyzed, feeding a continuous learning base for optimizing the vehicle's software and hardware. This data-driven adaptability sets Tesla apart from many competitors, who still operate with static updates that are poorly connected to actual field usage. The Semi is equipped with the same type of learning architecture that powers Tesla's lineup of cars, but adapted for cargo transportation, with a focus on safety, torque, and stability. The gradual introduction of these trucks into urban and highway environments will allow routes to be mapped, loading bottlenecks to be identified, and integration with distribution centers to be improved. This also gives Tesla a real-world test lab for its autonomous driving platform, allowing it to test with practical data how the FSD technology can handle large moving masses. It is important to remember that the Semi is a considerably heavier vehicle than a standard car, requiring adaptations to the steering system, regenerative braking, and weight distribution. Even with these adjustments, drivers report a surprisingly light and controlled feeling behind the wheel. This is due in part to the low center of gravity provided by the batteries installed under the floor. This feature improves stability when cornering and maneuvering, which is essential for trucks operating in urban areas or in tight logistics spaces. Another factor that draws attention is the aerodynamic design. Unlike the robust and square appearance of conventional trucks, the Tesla Semi adopts a futuristic shape, inspired by energy efficiency concepts. According to Tesla itself, the Semi's aerodynamic coefficient is lower than that of many sports cars, which directly contributes to its autonomy. The central position of the driver's seat is also an innovation. This choice provides better visibility and control, as well as making the truck more adaptable to markets with English or French hand-wheel drive. Inside, the cabin is minimalist and technological. Two large touchscreens replace traditional dashboards, providing real-time information on route, consumption, speed, and system status. This technological environment contributes to a driving experience that is more reminiscent of a car than a truck. This could change the way the driving profession is perceived by future generations. Tesla is also betting that this new paradigm could attract more women and young people to the sector, which has historically been dominated by men and marked by long hours and difficult conditions. With more comfort, technology, and automated support, the job of driving a truck can become more accessible and safer, increasing the supply of qualified labor. Another important point is maintenance. As an electric vehicle, the Semi does not have a combustion engine, conventional transmission, or exhaust system, which drastically reduces the need for preventive maintenance. The absence of oil, clutch, and other traditional mechanical components reduces the number of mandatory stops and costs related to recurring failures. In logistical terms, this means more uptime, lower workshop costs, and more predictable delivery times, crucial factors for carriers and distribution networks. Furthermore, the Semi is already prepared to receive software updates via the internet, which allows you to correct errors, add features, or improve performance without the need for a technical visit. This software-first approach is one of Tesla's biggest differentiators in the market. The truck evolves over time, without the owner having to make constant physical upgrades. Another silent revolution promoted by Semi is in the culture of companies. The adoption of electric vehicles for heavy transport requires a complete change of mindset, from drivers to fleet managers. Companies that previously based their operations on diesel models now need to think about electric power, smart charging, optimized routes, and data analysis. This transition may seem complex, but it also represents a huge opportunity for modernization and logistics efficiency. Those who get ahead can gain a lasting competitive advantage. In the future, Semi's operating data could be integrated into fleet management systems, enabling predictive analysis, waste reduction, and better use of logistics assets. More than just a truck, the Tesla Semi works as a data hub for efficiency, traffic, consumption, and performance. This onboard intelligence could transform logistics into something much more scientific. In the long term, this could mean less congestion, faster deliveries, and reduced operating costs in global supply chains. The environmental impact is also a point that cannot be ignored. By replacing diesel trucks with electric models, companies directly contribute to the reduction of greenhouse gases. This not only improves the institutional image of brands, but also prepares them for future legislation, which should increasingly restrict the use of fossil fuels in road transport. In Europe, for example, cities like Paris and London have already announced restrictions on polluting vehicles in urban areas, which accelerates the demand for clean alternatives. In the United States, states like California are imposing clear targets for the electrification of transportation, creating incentives for companies that adopt solutions like the Tesla Semi. In this context, Tesla is well positioned to become a preferred supplier of heavy-duty vehicles for companies looking to meet new environmental requirements. Of course, the competition is also moving in. Traditional automakers like Volvo, Daimler, and Freightliner have already unveiled their own electric truck prototypes. But none of these companies have the same degree of vertical integration, battery expertise, and digital culture that Tesla has developed over the past decade. This history could be the difference needed for the Tesla Semi to not be just another product on the market, but rather a turning point in the history of transportation. What we are witnessing is the beginning of an era where trucks will be quiet, smart, upgradable, and powered by clean energy. The Tesla Semi is the flagship of this revolution. It is still too early to say how far it can go, but the signs are already clear. The future of heavy transport will be electric, and those who do not keep up with this transformation run the risk of being left behind. Each new truck that comes off the Giga Semifactory production line represents a concrete step in this direction. It is as if each unit were a piece of a much larger puzzle, involving climate, economy, technology, and society. Tesla has once again shown that it is not afraid to take on the giants of the industry and propose radical solutions. The Semi is the materialization of this courage in one of the most challenging areas of transportation. More than just selling trucks, Tesla is proposing a new logic for the sector, a logic based on sustainability, data, and automation. And as more companies join in, this logic grows stronger, creating an innovation ecosystem that could completely reconfigure global logistics in the coming decades.